So I'm going to jump to our next slide, which is, near and dear to my heart. If anybody knows me, they know I'm like the crazy animal person. I'm like
toaster ovens.
Yeah, my dogs. Yeah, Alan likes to refer to dogs as toaster ovens, even though he has dogs and loves dogs, and he's not wrong. So the question is, and people come to us and they say, okay, well, I'm divorcing and I don't have kids, but gosh, I love my dog. And I'm telling you right now, that would be my situation. Gosh, I love my dog. Everybody knows that. Who's getting the dogs? But me. The answer is me. But but people always say to us, well, I want to schedule, or you can't do that. You can't have custody schedules for dogs and cats and any pets.
Flying squirrels.
As much as Connie had a flying squirrel situation, as much as you may love them. But what I have had and was really interesting was a petition for exclusive possession of domestic animal, which was a workaround in a divorce matter requesting the pet. So instead of filing a petition for exclusive possession of the marital residence or, some dispute over personal property, the petition was, tell Kelly I'm representing Michelle to get the dogs. No, you are not, Quinn. So, but that was a really interesting case.
What was the name of the petition?
It wasn't me, it was the other side.
Oh.
So here's the background of the case.
You could also do a petition for interim equitable distribution in that situation.
Right, same idea. So it's property. So the idea, in my case, it was a young couple. They had no children, they had no property, but I represented husband, and he had this German Shepherd that he just absolutely loved. And this was his German Shepherd, and he was a military guy. He got this dog and he ran with this dog, and this was his buddy, right? And then wife said, well, you bought that's my dog. And so then they started making noises about, sharing custody of the dog, which we shut down and said, you can't do that. So the next thought process there was, well, but you bought the dog for me as a gift, because we all know that things that are gifts are yours. So that was the next attempt. And when that didn't work, because the dog was purchased, before the marriage, and it was clearly not a gift, and that was established. Then the petition that I was served with was a petition for exclusive possession of domestic animal. And it was a petition, an emergency petition, essentially, that argued that this particular piece of property, i.e. this dog, this domestic animal, was mine. So there was litigation over that. And to this day, that's the only type of litigation I've seen actually make its way to a full hearing, because as it stands, it's property. And so when people and Talon's earlier point about putting anything in an order, you can absolutely put something in an order that says you get 2 days with the dog and so does the other person, but you can't enforce that.
Well,
so the question is,
I'm not sure that it's a good question, whether or not as a contractual matter that's enforceable.
Right.
You can draw up a property settlement agreement that says, you get the sofa and the TV 3 days out of the week, and I get it the other 4 days out of the week. And two consenting adults, it's not, as far as I'm concerned, it's not void as against public policy. It's just stupid, but so what?
But can you enforce it? And so if someone says, no, you're not getting the couch on Tuesday.
Well, sure, you can enforce it. It's called a breach of contract action. And if it's incorporated in a divorce decree, it's enforceable as a court order. I assume you can enforce it. But to your point, you're never going to get a judge to create that kind of order in the first place, because they're not allowed to.
Yep.
So
this was an interesting take on it.
I think it's a creative take on it. I wouldn't have done it that way, but it works that way.
We kept the dog.
I would just ask for, and let's be clear about this. If you've got pets and you've got kids, pets and kids are usually going to end up together. And that's a factor that the master in divorce can and will take into consideration. And so that at the end of the case, if you can't settle this and you're going to go to the master, that the master is going to award the dog, the cat, the flying squirrel to the custodial parent. If
Right.
there is a custodial
Right.
parent, it's not shared physical custody.
Right, right.
But otherwise, yeah, I mean, I guess you could petition the court and ask for interim equitable distribution. I want the dog or the cat
Mhm.
now,
Mhm.
and present your reasons why,
Mhm.
because I believe that, that
And all the
in-
reasons they usually, expound on are reasons that are like, is similar to a best interest standard, and so you can't use those.
well, yeah, I mean, look.
You could use those for the kids.
I think you're gonna have to make the argument in your petition for interim equitable distribution why the divorce factors governing equitable distribution are ultimately going to favor you getting that animal at the end of the day when the divorce is finalized.
Yeah.
Because, it's interim relief that's really going to kind of have a certain finality to it. You're not gonna switch that piece of property back to the other
Right.
spouse again.